Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, Facebook, good evening, world. Welcome to another program, Talk with Rev. This evening, it is Monday, March 29, 2021, a day that we have seen and one that we will never see again. And to God be the glory. We are here among the land of the living. And I just want to thank you for joining us here tonight one more time. Um, Before we go into the program, just want to join and share as you come along. To find us, you can find us. We are streaming live on YouTube. We're also streaming live on two Facebook pages. So as you come along, join and share so somebody can tune into this interesting interview this evening. And before I introduce our guest tonight, we have our co-host, no stranger to us, one that has been on the program before. I'm speaking of none other than Minister Vaughn. How are you doing, Minister?
Bless you, Reverend Dunn, and it's a pleasure being here. First of all, let me say good night to your viewers and to the guest. Nice to meet you, and we are in for a wonderful time tonight. So go ahead and start that watch host and click that share button, and let's get on with it. It's going to be a great evening, and looking forward for this session.
Wonderful, wonderful. I want to say a very pleasant evening to you, Lady Flame. How are you doing?
Good night. I'm doing great. I'm doing wonderful.
Wonderful. And if you don't know Lady Flame, she is an international recording artist. She goes by the name The Flame, or The Flame, right? The
Right.
Flame, The Flame. And I want to thank you for joining us here tonight to have a little talk with Rev this evening. It's a privilege, and I want to thank you for joining us. To take up the opportunity for talking with us for a little, so we can get to know you and get to understand more about the music industry.
Yes. Yes. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. All right, wonderful. All right, let's get into the meat of the matter. My first question, what I want to pose to you is that, what got you into the music industry?
Uh, I was basically born to do this. I've been singing from I was about 2 years old. So, I've music is in my blood. It's in my family stream. Majority of my family is musical in some way. If they don't sing, they play an instrument. Both of my parents are musical, so it's not. I would have to say it's a path that was chosen for me, pretty much.
Wonderful, wonderful. Uh, that is so good that you took up, and the fact that the good thing about it is that you choose to do gospel music. That I think that's a plus. And I forever, when I first hear that music, that single, God Answered Prayer, I really fell in love with that song. And if I should go live every day in my car, that I have a thumb drive, and that one song is just on repeat. So that day, that special day, that day when you shared my life, I was there, and it just dropped in my spirit that
Hmm.
you know that somebody's out there that is going through a lot right now, and I just choose to just share that live and share that song at that moment. And for from there on, and even before, I always listen to that song, and it has been a blessing to my life. Now I want to ask you, um who or what inspired you to make music?
That's a good question. Um, for me, I would say life. Um, you know, I write and go off of, things that happen in life around me, what I see, what may drop in my spirit at the time, So it's just an inspiration. This would be in a life, with anything that's going on. It could be simple things, and I just write around that, tell the story of that, or it could be something personal or something that I see, and I decided to share it in a song, and that goes out and it touch a lot of people because they can relate, I guess, to whatever the song may be about, so life really is my inspiration. It's just, and in this time or in this season, pretty much whatever is going on, whatever messages or whatever spiritually might drop in my spirit, that song comes about, so, and I just put it in music. So
Wonderful. That's very good. But how would you describe the music that you have created so far? How would you describe
I describe my music as like diverse and um pretty much soul and heart touching, and basically causes you to think, because a lot of times within music, we know music is a spiritual thing. There's a song for every feeling you have, every emotion. So a lot of times, when I create music and everything, I want that message to stick, or that not just the production behind it, because the music is important as well. It has to sound good, but also with what you're talking about, what you're speaking about. So, pretty much I would describe it as something heart touching. People said, it's soulful. It's like, it's very soothing to them. They can relate to it. It's basically what they want to say but can't say, pretty much within music. So
very interesting, very interesting. All right, let me just bring in my co-host here for a little bit. Ryan, what's going on your side? What's your question for the flame?
All right. My Well, first of all, I'm interested in your name. What is that? Your stage name, or is it
yeah,
just
that's
a
not my
part
real
of
name.
your
Yeah.
identity?
Yes, it is. Actually, Lady Flame is my first name. But that's me, and a lot of people know me as Lady Flame. Within the music industry. Um, you know, the Flame is actually like one of my personas through the years, like, because I sing, I DJ, I rap, I do all of that. So Lady Flame is like the soft one, the singing
Okay.
bird. And normally, when the flame is about to come in, I'll be like, it's the flame. And then that's when the harder side of me shows. So, you know, it's so funny because Lady Flame, that name was given to me like from within my school days. We used to, during lunchtime and stuff like that, we used to sit around the table and, go back and forth and clash and this, stuff like that within school. And I would sing or DJ or flip songs, which is why I guess I love Clash so much. But I would flip songs, and they would say, when you sing, you're very warm, like, like flame. When you fire up, when you get heated, you can come very hard and direct. So that name stuck with me throughout my career. And then it's just like a few years ago, I said, okay, we're gonna do like a little, I guess, reinvention. And we decided to take off the lady part because I mean that's evidence, and it's a lot of lady this and lady that out there. So we just get to the point, and we just say, you know what, the flame. Let's get straight to it.
Oh,
So
that is awesome. That is awesome. Now, you said that you came from a musical family, and for me, that's a big deal. What what was the real inspiration, or what was the real story behind you going
um
into gospel? And
right,
because with a person coming from that background, the market is wide.
right. um I think pretty much Um, since I was small, like I said, I would always, it was kind of routine. I would always, be singing. I was basically my church item everywhere we go, because with Jamaican churches, every anniversary, churches are visiting other churches and so forth, and I was always the item for my church, I would always sing from very small. And, that from there, it's like it instilled into me, I guess. At that time, you're young, you don't really understand your gift, but you sound good. People tell you that, obviously. And through the years, I guess, they start to hear the power more within your voice and everything that you're doing, and the older you get, for me, I kind of worked on, me and my team, we work on the developmental stages of that. You know what I mean? Developing that sound and, working on the musical part of it, the musical background of it, as far as, because it's good to educate yourself and to strengthen yourself in your gift. You know what I mean? But from, like I said, from early, for me, it was just something just to do when I was good at, from when I could sing from about 2 years old. My grandparents, which raised me, they realized, hey, you have a voice. God gave you this voice. And that was pretty much, I didn't have a say so over it. It was just, learn this song, sing this song, and go up there. And every time I go up there, I would be blessed. I bless people, all the way up until, I can remember till now, So it's just something I would just guess that is just like I was born to do, pretty much. So
All right, so it seems like Ryan has um, stepped out a little. But
yeah.
my question to you, um, who would you look to collaborate with?
So interesting.
If you, if you,
I, because I love all types of music. I'm a musician on a whole, meaning, I love country, I love rock, I love all type of music, as long as the message is positive and everything. If I could speak other languages, I would do some Spanish songs, some different, songs. So I would definitely, let me see, people that are alive or people that has passed.
um, both.
Okay. Let's see. Um, like some powerhouses like Patti LaBelle. Um, I love Lauryn Hill. I love a lot of voices that are out there. I would definitely, if we're talking about the men, John Legend. I love Bear Salmon. You know, um,
Yeah,
wow, it's so many people because I love, to me, people have like their own sound, you know, and I recognize like their gift within their own sound, and I like them for their personality that they bring towards the music. You know what I mean? So if
yeah,
Michael Jackson was alive, that would be good. Whitney Houston. You know, I just love them for their gift, and if it's used in a positive way to collaborate with them, it just makes it all the better. All excellent. So I'm across the board with that. That's a wide question for me because I'm not like in one genre of music. If
yeah.
Elvis was
I
alive,
hear,
trust me, yeah, Elvis, I would go after Elvis.
okay. I think you mentioned one local, well, he's international, but one
Mhm.
Jamaican poet, that's Bears. But what about the others? There's no more.
Yeah, of course.
That,
I mean, come on, Buju. Buju, Bounty, Itana, everybody that have a powerful voice within, the music, and they have their
yeah,
own personality that they bring. I think it would be good to collaborate with them because you can make magic like that. You know what I mean? As long as they're being themselves on the track and you're being yourself and coming with a positive and powerful message. Definitely. Within the gospel field, Kevin Downswell, um, you know, just to name a few, Minister Marion Hall, which I have a collaboration with her coming out soon.
really?
And
Okay.
yes, and Jabez, I have a collaboration with him. Adrian Cunningham, I have one with him as well. So, yeah. So maybe some of the people that I named that's alive, maybe I'll one day can say I have one with them too. So,
Awesome, awesome. All right, what's your creative process like? What's your creative process like? As getting music done. What's it like?
um, it's kind of weird because for me, it depends. If it's a project that like I have to get done in a timely manner, then I would like, have to put myself in that kind of environment. But most of the time it's just like freelance, whatever goes on around, especially with this whole quarantine thing we'd have to deal with for the past year. A lot of my latest singles, it came from just that, like what's going on around. Have Mercy, like the shirt where I'm wearing now. When that song came about around this time last year, I was in the shower. So that just like it's random. It's in the shower and the melody came to me and I was singing in the shower. I was like, hey, this is bud. So I came out and I laid it, put down the idea, and we worked on that and then that song is on the road. Still, um, with Glamour Wayne that we dropped a few, months after that. It's a nice subtle song. It reminds me of God Answers Prayers. Um, but again, with the whole quarantine thing, I just pictured like, we're on a battlefield. Like every time I hear that song, that comes to me. Like, like we're on a battlefield fighting, we're wounded and everything. And, we're asking God to protect us and keep us alive, because we know we just have to keep going because we're going to win the war. So this whole war thing is like, the picture painted for that song to me. Then, a little bit after that, just like about a month ago, with G-Fuss from Stone Love, I dropped Help, you know, which is, basically another song just, crying out help, help, cry help and God will come to save us within this time. And all three of them have like different vibes. Have Mercy is more like a one drop reggae. And Still, like I said, is more subtle. And then you have Help, which to me is more like a revival type of upbeat dancehall type of. So it's just sporadically for me, depending on, what's going on, or whatever. Sometime I might hear an instrumental or a music, and something just comes to me, you know what I mean? Just comes out of the blue. So
Awesome, awesome. All right. So, what message would you give, like, to a fan like me? Because I count I'm one of your fan. What message would you give to a fan? Something
um
positive.
well, both my messages is just to stay strong, build a faith in God, keep focused, try not to pay attention to the distractions around you. And, most of my messages is that, okay, we know there's an enemy out there, that's trying his best, to basically, interfere in our life. And, we know we have to fight demons on the spiritual sense and even physically sometimes. So, my messages is just to encourage people and just to, just kind of remind them that, no matter what you're going through, there's always an upside to things. There's always, you know, um, rainbows after the storm. There's always, the sun comes up after night, stuff like that. So it's just basically to keep encouraging ourselves, not just them, but me too. The songs encourages me too as well, to just keep on trotting on and holding the faith, keeping the faith. And, one sword, it basically sharpens the other. So,
Definitely, definitely. And I can tell you, um, the you have many songs, but the one song that hit me, and I think you know that song, God Answers Prayer, and I
yeah.
know a lot of people that's really a touching song for them. But before I go further, Ryan chipped out. Let me just get him back in with his questions.
All right. Thank you. All right. Sorry about the viewers. All right. No, no, the flame. I think I want this to go right where I think Rev is going. Um, God answers prayer. Now, it's good, but I'm sure for it to connect with so many persons, there is a story behind it. What was it for you? What is that story that is behind that song? Because it is very relatable to many
hmm
of us in this time.
Well, that song is a breakthrough song, and I would have to say the life-changing song, because what a lot of people don't know, well, the people that supported me from before, like I said, when I'm Lady for and everything, what a lot of people don't know is that prior to God Answers Prayer, like I said, I am a dancehall artist. So I was working on a total different album. You know, we were working on, we have to get it. I was on Hype TV and everything within Jamaica, and we were trying to finish up that album, and we were looking for like an ending song. And then through that, going through personal stuff within my life and everything like that. That song, I would have to say that message, not even a song, it was like a message. That whole message came to me one night at home, and within tears and everything like that. So I laid it down, and a matter of fact, you played the one that got out to the world first. That was the one I laid at home. That was the blueprint. My little danga danga, whatever. It wasn't even fully, it wasn't even fully like, mixed and mastered or nothing. So we put the idea down, and I shared it with my manager and everything. And we said, this song is powerful. It's in like a lane of its own. It definitely can't go on this album. So we didn't even get to the song yet. So with that happening, I don't know how, but some way, somehow, let me just say this. God wanted the message to go out. So somehow the song was like leaked through WhatsApp, and it started to like spread all over the world through WhatsApp, through YouTube, through Facebook. No one knew who sung the song, number one. And not until I guess somebody recognized my voice, and someone had called us for booking a date within a total different country, and said, we got to get you to perform this song. This song is number one within the country, within Cayman Islands. And we were like, what? How you even get the song? The song, how you even get the song? And they're like, it's all around. So right then we knew that I had to put a face to it. You know what I mean? So I did a clip within the car, which that's a very popular video too, because that hit like the millions within like a week. So that's how I knew this song was really spreading all over the place. So I did a little clip, just letting people know, I'm the singer songwriter of the song, and letting them know, that it's coming out soon and everything. And from there, like, it just opened so many doors. This song itself is a testimony. So that's where I'm getting to. God Answers Prayers is like evidence, the song itself. So, you know, everything we were working on and everything we're trying to do. And it's just like, there goes like the answer to one of the prayer. You're getting out there, the music is touching people, the messages is getting around, you know, that's his song, and he basically released it before we did officially. So, it went out, and since then it's still getting reaching people. I'm still getting messages till today, about how it's changed so many people's lives, and how it's, brought so many people closer to God, and how, it's gotten people to get a little bit more spiritual and everything. And I guess because a lot of people are hurting, we all go through problems and stuff, and a lot of times we act as though like we're Superman and Superwoman and stuff like that, and we don't show that side, and we're in the quiet, are in your little corner, you're struggling, and you're suffering. And that song kind of just reminds me, of when you're broken and you're down, and you feel like there's nobody around you, no answers like around you, nobody to help you, nobody to call on. You just feel stuck, and like you're going further and further down. And God just reminds you that I hear you, I see you, I answer prayers, I'm there for you. I will pull you out of the situation that you're in. So, the song and the message is very powerful. It's still, like I said, spreading out there. I listen to it too, when I need that inspiration as well, as a reminder, and I think for me, when that song came within my spirit, it was a reminder for me personally as well. You know what I mean? Because a lot of time we get caught up in things around us, and we stray, you know, spiritually, within ourselves. And it was just a reminder to me, like, God is the big man. He's the head. you know. So definitely he hears and answers prayers. We are his children, and it's very important that, you know, we keep that close connection, you know, with him. So that's why I believe this song is like a connector to people, because it like places you in a vulnerable stage, you know, because you have to be vulnerable. You know, it places you in a vulnerable stage, a solidary type of stage, um, a stage where a lot of us don't want to, we would feel kind of like compromised, you know, you feel weak. It puts you in that stage to know that you're nothing without God and without his help. So, you know, that song is a major milestone. It's a foundation song for me, and it's my testimony, and it's many people's testimony, and I'm sure you have testimonies as well, you know, of how God answered prayers and come through for you in your time.
That's very well said, and I appreciate that whole epistle, because it is really detailed, and we get to see the process behind it. But I want to piggyback on something you said earlier,
Hmm.
because prior to this, you were working on a totally
Yes.
different project, right? So you were
Yes.
going dancehall. No,
Yep.
so I really wanted to get into your headspace to, because
Hmm.
having been around some of these secular artists, I kind of know their mindset, that
Hmm.
they can be misunderstood in the public eyes, that they are not really spiritual, or they don't really believe in God. But if you really sit and reason with them, they really believe in God and talk about God, and what they are doing is just that they are doing this as their career. So what was happening as it relates to your spiritual background? Because I know that you all talk to God, but did you feel as if that God was really pulling you away from the project, so to speak, or what was
Yes.
happening there?
Yes. You said it perfectly. You flipped the script. So, and you know, we learned, you could say the hard way, because you know, at that time, like I said, it was sort of like a, okay, should we finish this project? Should we go on to this? You know what I mean? And here we are trying to finish what we started, and God is saying, all right. And you know, he just took over, and you know, he did his own thing, and it's like, no, this message needs to go out now. I ain't waiting on y'all, you know. So I would have to say we were sort of disobedient at that time. You know what I mean? So let's just be real. So, you know, and the money and the time and everything could have went into that, you know, and have it properly done. But to me, like I said, the message was properly done out there. But it's just, we're so anal, like, you know, with music and, you know, the quality and everything like that. So of course we wouldn't have released it like that. We would have made sure, you know, everything was tightened up. But again, God was saying, no, the message is what's important in this song. And this is what I found very comical. Um, the message was more important than anything else, because again, no one even knew the person behind the song. So the song is going out and changing life. Nobody ever, trust me, everybody have their own perception. It must be some old lady, some big tough black lady, some, you know. And if you see me how I'm small, little, how I look like I'm 18. So, you know, I go and sing this song a lot of places, and people say, you don't even look like you go to anything on that. And I say, yeah, okay, you know. But it's like God, I guess, wanted at the time, because we're human, so we're so fixated sometimes on things that we see, you know, and a lot of times we won't focus on what we really need to, the message. So he said, all right, they gonna know it's you, but the message is what's important. So the message went out, and then, you know, I'm able to let people know that it's me. So yes, the direction was changed. He flipped the script, and God said, yeah, this is the direction I want you to go. And that's what we've been doing ever since. You know, he's in control, and you know, he's using us, and you know, these songs are hitting. These are powerful. I'd have to say spiritual bombs just hitting the place, and you know, the messages is going out, and it's doing what it needs to be done, and we're happy to be used for that. You know, we're being obedient now. God, we're listening now.
Awesome. But
Yeah.
my last question before I go back to Rev, my last question. Now, where your statement part of this, and it's a profound statement, and you said that the message was properly done, one, and it was out before the author. let's are the
Yes.
artist. Let's use the artist. The
Yes.
character in music is the artist. So the message was out before the artist. Now, when we evaluate and I look at it, when I look at some of the your peers in gospel, when I look at the George Knox, look at the Papa San, right, coming from a similar background and
Right.
where they are now in gospel, right,
Mhm.
they you get a transition and a transformation. But what I want to ask now, how do you remain focused?
Mhm.
Because what I've seen is that a lot of the gospel artists, they cannot manage when the limelight, so to speak, and
Mhm.
the recognition is coming, and
Mhm.
there is a lot of distraction that come in their way, and then somehow we miss them for a season.
Yes.
Like the Bible said, and the devil left Jesus for a season.
Mhm.
They're just missing for a season.
Yes.
So
Yes.
how do
Yes.
you maintain being relevant one and keeping focused in other sphere?
Um, like I said, let me be honest. When this journey first started, I was scared, to be honest. Like I said, I didn't me never choose to come over that side yet. So just know that. Okay. So if anybody out there is like, where you come from? No, I didn't choose. I was doing something totally different. And God said, no, come that way. So and I'm a person, I fear God, you know what I mean? I know God for myself. And that's like one of my biggest thing. I don't want to disappoint God. Like, trust me on that. So a lot of times, like through this journey that what we're doing, I I'm so fixated on that like a lot of times I'm out of myself. You know what I mean? I can't I don't it's like a daily thing. Remind yourself to stay humble, because I don't want to be made an example of. I'm gonna tell you that right now, and I don't want to be humbled neither. So it's just like a daily thing for me. I know that I'm just a vessel. It's not about me. You know what I mean? I'm not. This gift was given to me by God for Him to use, and it's not really about, oh, the flame. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I'm a person that He's using, that I'm happy to be used, but it's not all about me at the end of the day. If somebody's life can change, if somebody, it can change somebody's life around, it can mend somebody broken heart, it can, change somebody negative thoughts to positive thoughts, make somebody more spiritual, make somebody life more better, then hey, that's the main goal here. That's what I've always wanted to do, even prior, to saying, okay, working within gospel. Even prior to that, I've always wanted to do that. I was doing cultural music, contest music, so to speak, speaking about real life situations and how we need to, God was always within my thing. So even more now that the spotlight, is on us in what we do, I more so don't even pay attention to it as much, because like I said, I know I'm here for a reason, and the purpose is what I'm focusing on. That's it. Like the whole purpose. I'm not really like in it for like the whole fame thing and the whole, you know what I mean? I'm just cruising, and the blessings that come, I'm thankful for it. You know what I mean? Because God will bless you when you bless Him and do what you're supposed to do, you know and that's just it for me, and hopefully the bigger I go is the more I stay like that, because I don't, again, I don't want to be missing for seasons like some people. I want to stay within the game, and stay within what I'm doing, and keep bringing messages, and keep bringing new music, which is happening now. It's like, we're so over flooded with songs, like it's so many of them, even unfinished songs. So I just thank God for that. The creativity, a lot of people don't know too. um I don't just do the writing, or well, the singing as well. um I do all my backup voices, all my songs, they're all me. There's 6 of me in the song. So there's 6 of me, except any song you might hear to have a man voice in there. I can't do that, I can't go that low. But all the voices are me. All the songs are written by me. All of them are collaborated by me. Me and my team, we work on producing the production, but most of the work, if it's my idea, I will lay that down. I play the piano. I'm a beginner on the guitar. So I'm a well-rounded musician. When it comes to that. So, I can't be nothing but thankful and grateful. I'm excited, to be used in that way. It's not for me. It's not a competition. Let's put it like that. I'm not in it to compete, with anybody. I know because of how I got here that I'm here for a reason, and as long as I make myself available, that purpose is going to get through and it's going to get done. You know what I mean? So,
Awesome. Just before I go to Rev, I want to put this in. So you're not in it for the fame. You're just in it to blaze the flame. All right. Over to you, Rev.
I like that. I'm going to copyright that. I'm
That's a
not in
good
it for
one,
the fame,
Rev.
but I'm in it to do. Yes.
That's a good one.
Yes.
All right, Flame. All right. Being in the industry, you have, I'm sure that you have met a lot of persons that are good mentors. What
Hmm.
is the best advice have you gotten so far?
To be myself. That is the best advice we've gotten, is to be myself. And I'm going to tell you something, like I said, it's a scary thing, when you first come, when you're dealing with gospel music. Um, and it's not even because of the music or because of God, but because of the people that's in it. It's scary because you're thinking, oh, this is the way things supposed to be, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people have fixated stuff around their own rules, and I've always was myself, and I didn't. It's so funny, like how we start off, with me being myself, and then more people were getting supportive and adapted to it, and like, yo, you know, this is real, and they can see that, and that was just my main thing because, and I believe that's what God wants. You know what I mean? He wants realness. I mean, trust me, as long as you're real, and he can work with that. It's when we become within ourselves and we put up all this front and all of this stuff, that it becomes a problem because now it's about you, and how you feel about things. But the creativity, the creativeness that I have, and when I say I'm all over the place, I don't know if it's because I'm a Gemini, but my music creativity, like I said, in any genre of music, I sing, rap, DJ, whatever music it is, because to me, music was created anyway to praise God. So whatever music it is, I'm myself on the track, I'm myself with the music. I bring forth the message, whatever the song may be. If it's a song, to uplift you, to encourage you, or if it's a song where, boy, we're gonna shoot the devil, I step on him head top. You know what I mean? If it's a song where we're praising God, if it's a song where I tell bad mind to go allow it, whatever. You know what I mean? It's just basically I'm so excited that I am myself and I can do that. I can be on a gospel reggae dancehall track, however you want to call that, or a revival track, or I can be on a traditional track, or, I have some tracks where I call them like contemporary, more like American gospel, that kind of feel. Um, some we have that's like sort of like rock and roll, you know so it's stuff like that. I just think it's important because there's so much people out there that might like, you might not like, maybe to you that might not be, that's not my thing, but somebody else might like that. So variety is important. Just think about when you go to, like, say, a buffet. There's so many options there,
Right.
and no matter what you choose, guess what? Who owned that buffet? I get all of that money there.
Right, right, right.
So no matter what you choose, that person, you see what I'm saying? So if you can deliver your message in 50 different ways, then those 50 different ways, God get the glory. Those 50 different ways can connect to 50 different people. So, and that's just my thing. So, I'm happy that I'm like a person that's outside of the box. You can't really like, say, oh, this is Flame, this is how she is. When it comes to me, you just have to say, man, she does musical. That's Flame. she does she musical. So definitely I think to me that's important because you have people that like different styles of music. I have the older folks, or some people, I like traditional music too. There's a time, a season for that. And there's a time season when you want to dance like David, you know. So, that's why I said for every emotion there's a song. There's gonna be a song that when you cry, You cry and you fall out, and you that's how you feel within worshiping songs. Then there's revival songs, and so I just feel like it's important to have variety, for me, and I'm happy that that's who I am, because whatever the message come, if God said, okay, deliver it like this or try it like this, that's what I'm gonna do. So
Wow,
Awesome.
wow.
Awesome. Wow. All right. So we have a question here from one of our viewers, Evangelist Daily. She said, how do you plan to navigate around the present crisis we are having? What effects you think it will have on the music industry?
so far, well, see, this is where you have to be. Okay, this is where you have to be creative, and where you have to think outside of the box. And you mentioned this before when you said missing for your season. I'm missing for 2 seasons. No, for them missing this season, yeah. Let me tell you why. Because when things happen, and there's a movie called Adjustment Bureau that I love, you know, because every time there's a situation, you have to adjust. You have to make an adjustment. But the main focus of where you end up is where you always end up, but it's just adjustments made within it. You know what I mean? So the map can change at any time. So if your job is to sing, or whatever your job may be, just think about going to work. There's detours. A road can close. What that mean? You're not going to work today? Come on. So, you know what I mean? It's a pandemic. So you have to think of other creative ways. Okay, we're all doing this thing virtually. You know what I mean? And that's what me and my team did. We did what we have to do. Get whatever materials we need, whatever devices we need. You know what I mean? Get the cameras, get the lights, whatever. Um, I mean, thank God we're gifted to, create the music and do the production work ourselves. That we had to learn as well too. Life taught us that too. That, thank God we can learn that you can't depend on people all the time, because everybody have their own life. And not only that, sometimes the way you want something done, you can't really, explain that to somebody and they produce it that way. So sometimes it's best you do it yourself. You know what I mean? So we figured out the way around that, and it's working out for us. I've had a couple of virtual shows here and there, have some coming up. Like I said, we've dropped some new songs, some new singles. My album will be dropping within about a month. It's a huge project, so we had to split it up. It's going to be a part A and a part B. So, splitting it up. But we've been working. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I've been blessed through the pandemic. I've been blessed. You know what I mean? We've been working, and God been providing. And a matter of fact, like, trust me, I stay in the studio. Like, I mean, sleep in the studio. I stay in the studio because we're just over flooded with work. It keeps going nonstop. So you have to put in that energy, and you have to make up your mind that, okay, whatever's going on, make whatever adjustments you have to make to still do what you are supposed to do. Don't make any excuses. You know what I mean? Because if you are working for someone and whatever happens and they shut down, you still want to get paid for that day. You know what I mean? You don't want ear sit, because that's not your fault. So it's the same thing. We have to learn how to adjust within life, period. When things happen, don't give up. Look for other ways out. I'm a Google queen for that too. So Google your way out. you know, Find different options. Home and do this. Home if you do that. Everything they find YouTube. Just find different ways out, to deal with stuff. So that's important.
Very,
Awesome.
very, very well said. No, since God is extending your borders and you are reaching more and more people, anything as it relates to the languages, are we going to get a Espanol version coming out soon, or anything for the Italians?
That's
What
what I
what
was.
thing?
That's what I was saying to Rev earlier. I said I'm gonna have to, man. Even if it's half of a song, I'm doing that Spanish, or half of a song in that French. I got to do something, or in oh boy, up there in Korean or something. You know what I mean? Something to show. I'm gonna challenge myself. Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
gonna challenge myself, and definitely do that, because that would be great too as well. You know what I mean? Because there's different people that speak different languages, but they worship the same God. So it's good if you can communicate, through those different things. Yeah, so that's definitely cool. I'm definitely going to challenge myself for that. And so don't be shocked or surprised if you see a project dropping, soon with something like that, because that's something I've been thinking about for a while. So
And I would love to hear a collaboration from one of those South African artists. I
even
would
that
like to hear.
too, yeah, yeah, with the Afro beats and stuff like that, yeah, of course.
Definitely,
Your
definitely,
item would be, yes.
definitely.
All
Um,
right. Let me jump in one here while Rand gets his next question ready. If you could change anything in the about the music industry, what would it be?
um I would think like the equality of music, as far as ah I mean, I come from an era where and I think my worst ethics kind of show that. I come from an era where like your talent speaks, you know what I mean? How good you are and everything like that speaks and shows more than anything else. And nowadays, a lot of time it just takes gimmicks, you know? And a lot of time it's like, one hit songs or something that's there and it's not really substantial, nothing that will last, or you can go back to maybe 10 years from now and it still be, I would just say, and I think with that, like the industry or I guess the big companies or whatever, it's kind of harder for those of us that are trying to get to a certain level, if unless you know somebody that's already up there or whatever, because of those folks that come in and maybe are not really equipped, you know, to be singing or to be, doing that, because I mean, it takes work, and not just you practicing yourself, but, I would always recommend to people if you can, to educate yourself on it, learn, get some, whatever it takes to make your craft better so that you can be undeniable. You know what I mean? As far as talent is concerned. So, I would like more doors to be open, like more listening of it, more listening ears, as far as that's concerned, because it's hard, to get the people that have the connections to where you want like the global ear to hear it. It's hard sometimes to get them just to listen, listen to this or listen to that because of whatever may turn them off, or you know what I mean, or whatever they're looking at or whatever sticks out to them, as that's concerned. So I would definitely, would want them to, give more of an ear to those upcoming talents that are coming up, but there's quite a few of us that are very powerful and we belong, up there, and we can do some great things, if we had more help, if we had um the connections they have, as far as getting, I think just as far as much as you want to say, okay, the gun tune them and the sexual tune them spread, why you can't have the same, why you can't have the same perception and power push behind the positive songs, you know what I mean, and the godly songs, why you can't get that same movement, out there, like on every channel, flipping on every channel or through every, why is it different? So that would be my main thing, because I think if more of that, because music is spiritual, so if more of that is out there and more of that is heard, guess what, there's going to be less of what's there now. Because if every minute you're hearing about bust this and bust that and this and that,
right.
eventually you singing it, it becomes a part of you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can say it's for entertainment, and it can be, but there's some people that, like I said, music is spiritual. There's some people that are gonna take it to heart and gonna take it to spirit. You know what I mean? So if you put good positive music out there, that, like, especially for the youths, them and the kids, to be strong, to raise them in the right way, you know what I mean, to be mannerable, to put God first and all of that stuff, and keep them constructive and stuff like that. Stay within school, educate yourself, stuff like that, help them out in that sense, then that's what they're gonna do, you know what I mean? Because if you listen to them or look at them, they're looking at who their stars are, who their icons are. You know what I mean? So the messages their icons and stars sing are what they're relating to and what connects to them. You know what I mean? So if the bigger companies and those people with those ears, I think, can push more positive music through the ropes, and give us give us more of a chance. I think, it can help to kind of change things around and, lighten up the place, get people minds in a more positive sense, in a more better space, so.
Yes, very well said. Now I see the chat room get a little bit interested now, because I think because since you are talking about connections,
Yes,
there's one viewer here, and I want Rev to bring it up on the screen. Well, I think she's asking the question: would you do a song written by someone else? So I think they
um,
are
I,
strategically putting
I
their
would,
votes.
yeah, I would, and I had, in the past, I would, and I have. It's not something that I would, say I won't do. You know what I mean? Because again, sometimes, like with me, for instance, and even the people I collaborated with, like I named some of them. Um, when I create songs and I write songs, sometimes I hear them singing it. I hear their voice, you know? So, that can happen. Somebody can write something and say, hey, this sounds like Flame, or Flame would sound awesome singing this, Look how many times we've sung over people's songs, you know? And, they sound great with us singing it. It's not our song, it's their song. So, definitely that's something, I mean, I've done in the past. I've sung, songs written by some from other people. So that's definitely something I would do, in the future. So
Awesome, awesome. Well, I want to get my last one in here, I think. But so, having heard you mentioned about your team and the whole creative process and everything and the marketing, and we get the whole gist of that. Now, what I want to get from you now is what would be that plan, or where do you see yourself within the next 5 years as it relates to where you are right now, since everything requires you now to be adjusting? I am sure that your thinking has to be adjusted,
yes, yes.
right? So where do you see the plans, they where they will be in the next 5 years, and our the aspiration, what is there?
Um, Mainly to get, we're trying to figure out ways and creative ways on how to spread these messages, like I said, across the globe. Spread the songs across the globe. Um, Whether it's like, them getting the songs or me coming and singing it, live, and me delivering the messages myself and the songs myself. So we're, as a team, like you mentioned, marketing and stuff like that, advertising, whatever, whichever way it is to get because you have to be creative now, especially in this time, technology and everything, on how to get the message out. So we're just looking at how stuff is done, and anything that we see that, are great. We look at people that, I mean, get the job done. I mean, whichever way they do, and then try to take some good pointers from them, you know, on doing that and getting it out. It's kind of, when you think of like little things that, little simple stuff that if you think about, okay, even commercials or ads, or you know what I mean, flyers, cards, whatever, pamphlets, whatever. Like I said, digitally, people can send out so much different blasts. You can have an ad running on stuff that a lot of people watch, a lot of people hear. It's just connecting to those people and finding out how to get that done, and which involves a PR, people like that, to get that done. And that's basically what we're working on. We're just working on being able to, of course, when the place open up some and stuff like that, and opens back up, that we can hit the ground running, with all these products ready, with all the music ready, right now. Like I said, we've been making it available to people. It's in, anything that I have already released is in all digital stores. Hard copies, we send them, We have merchandise, like I'm wearing, I have Mercy shirt, I have the mask, different things like that that we send out. I try to stay connected as much to people as much as possible on all my platforms so that they can be a part of the movement too, because we can't do it ourselves. It takes a village, it takes everybody to do it. So, once you have a few good people around you and everything, and they become a part of a team, because I have a lot of people I've never even met before. I'm gonna tell you right now that they label themselves road managers and everything, so they take over. And God has blessed us with those kind of people, that come forth and say, okay, I got you. And they send the songs here, buy the song there, send the album here, do this and that, and we just get the word out the way we're supposed to. So that's in the next 5 years, I would want our, of course, territory to enlarge in, as far as how many people know of these songs, you know what I mean, and know, okay, the Fame is the singer of these songs. And of course, I just want it to be more relatable, people to connect more, and people to fall in love with the music and the songs that are going out there. You know what I mean? And it can be life changing, and that's what I want. So, as long as it goes out there and be life changing toward people, and they can connect to it and they love it and they share the messages with their peers, within 5 years, that's what we're looking at. I'm looking to be on the Grammy couch.
You
you know,
better. You should.
whatever, maybe in a big movie, whatever, you know what I mean? A big show, because right now all of the singer them turn actors. So I mean, whatever, it takes to get out there. So, definitely I'm looking for those type of accolades. That's where I'm building up for. I'm building to go to the top, you know what I mean? I'm building to go up to where it's you can gain more strength, as far as empower, as far as getting, this work done, not really in the sense of, wanting to be, but to get the work done. Because when you're at a certain level, it becomes easier, the higher you go, because getting things done, there's more people there to help you, and
Hmm.
it's less work for you to do. Cause I wear about 100 hats right now.
Mm, mm. You're
I
right.
wear
You're right.
100, my manager wear 200. So,
Mm.
so the more heads you have that can take off a hat off of your head, it's easier again, as you go up. So
I,
yes, I received it, and I claim that Grammy, because I saw that comment a while ago. I claim that Grammy. I received it. Matter of
I
fact, I claim two.
all right, awesome. I like where you end. And Rev, I'll beg you just half more question. Not half a question I want here. I want to one half question. Now you mentioned several times about team, 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 team. And for me, that is a very good thing, but it also can be a very destructive thing.
Mhm.
Now, how do you discern the right persons who should be in a team? Because anybody can want to be on Team Flame, but not everybody can go with Team Flame. So, so
Let me share
what?
something with you. You don't know my team. Hold on there. So my main team, I'm the T, the E, and the A and the M is my other half. Rob on Productions, which is
Awesome.
my manager. So we've been a team for over 20 years. And like you said a while ago, team can be good and team can be bad. And he is one man, if not gonna make nothing bad come around there. So I tell you. So it's like, I thank God for the spirit of discernment that we have. You know, um, he give, especially him, he has a very strong sense of that as well. He's an observer. I think God placed that with him in him. So to me, I'm like, okay, he's a security guard. He's just like, he's one of them security camera. He just the ones that were looking inside people, and just that's him. So I was blessed. Like I said, it's been 20 years. I'm blessed to have him as my partner. I mean, we fuss and bump heads though sometimes, but at the end of the day, my weaknesses he makes strong. You know what I mean? So, and his weaknesses I make strong. So, we are a wonderful team. And some people, they see this thing going and don't know, it's just two of us. At the end of the day, it's just two of us. So, but people are coming on board, like on the outskirts, like I said, that God has blessed us with that works with him. But the main team, when we say Rob on Productions, that's Rob on and the Flame. So Yeah, that's my team
Awesome,
right there. When you hear Mr. Team, just
awesome,
one
awesome,
person.
awesome, awesome. Rev,
Yeah.
no, one the other half. Me say the half. Give me second half of the question. Seriously. Second half. There's something about you have to understand. There's a time I'm just in a zone, right? But
Right.
no, you spoke about the guidance of your husband, your partner being
Mhm.
there, right? Now, talk to me now. How is it from the woman's perspective, to be submitted and allow the man to guide? Because hey, I
Yeah,
know
I've
women
that.
women women have this independent thing, and when the mind start work, them just want to work and go all the thing, and the man might be saying, come on, I know
That's
you
why I
want
said you
to.
have to ask him that. That's why I said when we bump heads, because I mean, he has a strong personality, but I do too. You know what I mean? And like, some people like, okay, so there you go. I guess my secret bust too. Why I named Flame too. So it's like my whole personality. I've a time sometime where me just burn a fire and it just I really not do nothing. It just burn a fire and it's just like gosh. But yeah, over the years it just takes it takes growth. You know what I mean? Because like we've been working with each other from we're young. Since I was 18. I'm still 18. So you know, you know, basically from then. So it takes growth. I was hard headed. Trust me, hard headed. Give him a lot of talking. And over the time when you both grow and you both learn the ins and outs. I mean, even as a person, you mature. And you kind of do what's supposed to be fitting that can make it beneficial for the both of you. Because we figured out that, okay, if we don't get it right, it's not going to work. You know what I mean? So, thank God it looked like, so we I get it right. No, 'cause things look
God
like say
answer
it's our work.
prayers, God answer prayers.
Yeah, totally.
Rev,
Yeah.
Yeah.
over to you, Rev.
All right. Let me get in my last question here before I let you go, the flame. Have you ever had to dealt with performance anxiety?
Um, I do. And he'll tell you because I have this thing like right before I go on, I'm in my own world for like at least 5 minutes. I don't want nobody to talk to me, nobody, nothing. I'm in my own zone because at that time it's like an out of body experience for me. It's like my one-on-one time with God. I'm just like, God, touch my voice, touch, everything, just be in control. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm tapping out before I tap in. So, um, it's not, it can come off as nervousness because at the same time, again, I want in that time that I give, whatever minutes I have, that I hit it hard, hit it powerful, and I be effective. That's my main job. You know what I mean? To go and do the job good, whatever it takes. So, before a show, I always get into that zone. He'll say it because like he'll be talking to me and then he's like, oh, there you go. You're not here. You're not here. And I'm like, no. So, I get in that little time, that little moment, get myself ready. I'm prepare myself before I go out there and touch the mic. Because once I touch the mic is supposed to be on. So
Awesome.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I must say this to you. What I admire about you the most is that, I've reached out to you and, you were not on that high to say, no. Right away, you said, okay, get in touch with my manager and, we'll set a date. And on that note, I must big up Rob Vaughn.
Rob on. Yeah.
Did I pronounce it right? Yes.
Yes, you did.
I want to tell him thanks much for having you here tonight. And I pray that God will continue to bless and keep you, and may His face shine upon you. And whatever you do will prosper. And
Thank
definitely, I'm one of those persons. I'm one of the big fans that you have here in Jamaica.
you.
From
Stay
ever
supporter.
since I
Stay supporter.
huh?
Supporter.
All right.
Somebody correct me the other day and said no fans because fans can pop down anytime or things can turn and switch. So
Yes. Yes,
support.
I'm one of those big supporters. So definitely, I'm looking forward to all those new songs coming up, that you will drop. I hope you will, it will be as exciting as, these that you have out now. But before you go, I don't know if somebody had asked in the comment in the chat room earlier if you want to do a little piece of God answer prayer. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I definitely will. And I want to say, everybody do look out for the, like I said, the new album coming within a month. Just basically stay connected. I'm on all social media networks. Lady Flame RP. RP stands for Rob on Productions. I'm on Snapchat, Insta, YouTube, Twitter. My personal website is ladyflame.com. That's the one-stop shop. I tell everybody, you can see if you go on there now, even some of the latest singles are on there, the links to them to go directly to the store to get them. You know, my EPK is up there, anything, any videos, any dates or anything coming. If you want to get in touch with us for interviews like you did, or any dubs or any type of bookings, definitely reach out to Robon at 240-305-6959. That's 240-305-6959. And we're excited about this album. Like I said, there's so many projects and with some heavy hitters. I mentioned, like I said, Minister Marion Hall. We have a collaboration on the album. Adrian Cunningham with a collaboration. And many more. So what we had to do, because I've been promising this album like from last year, and the people, they've been biting me up. Like, trust me, it's like some real butter. Yeah, so every day, every day. So, we definitely gonna split it up. We're gonna do a part A and a part B. Because we don't want to leave off, honestly, any songs. Normally, when you do an album, you want to pick like the best or but they're all awesome. So we don't want to leave any off. So we're gonna do a part A and a B. So we'll be dropping part A within the next month. Okay.
Awesome.
So for whoever the person was that wanted to hear a part of God Answers Prayers, okay. If you ever feeling down and like you have nowhere to go, if you're feeling like an outcast as your problem overflow, just remember there is someone, and all it takes is for you to know is that God is the answer, and God answers prayer. Oh, He sees every weakness, every trial, every mountain and sea, and He sees every teardrop, and He wipes them for me. I get down on my knees and I say, Savior, help me please, because one thing is for certain, is my God answers prayer. You may be broken and feel battered, but your strength will surely come in the midst of all your heartache. Yes, your battle already won. Just remember, in the hard time, don't give up, don't say you're done, because God is the author, and God answers prayer. Oh, He sees every weakness, every trial, every mountain and sea, and He sees every teardrop, and He wipes them for me. Just get down on your knees I say, Savior, help me please. Because the one thing is for certain is my God answers prayer. God bless you.
Awesome,
Amen.
awesome,
Amen. Amen.
awesome, awesome, awesome.
Lady Flame,
Um,
just before we wrap, I was just about to ask if you have perfect pitch. So I went and checked the record. I read the record is in D major, and then you are now singing in D flat. So so it's close. It's very close that you are in tune with your own song. Impressive, impressive, impressive.
Mhm.
definitely,
Wow, what an
wonderful,
observation. Yes,
wonderful,
I said, what an observation. I normally
wonderful.
don't even pay attention to that. It's like, that's a good observation. I guess I would pay attention to that if I was performing the track, but normally it's just because it's a cappella, I just, whatever note comes. But that's a good observation. That
It
is,
was real close.
that I was
It was
right on the
really
money.
close.
Wow. Mm.
Awesome, awesome. But before we go, I don't know if one thing I want to remind you tomorrow we have link up and reasoning. Ryan, can you just remind us of the guests? I have the flyer here I can put up. Can you just remind us of the guests?
Yes. So Nicole Kenwood Brown. She's an author. She's an entrepreneur, and so yeah, we'll be reasoning on that line tomorrow. Let's see. So tomorrow 8 p.m. Link up on reason, and I see Larry. Big up to you, sir. I hope Sentiments is treating you right, and it is cool over there right now. And big up to
All
Sugar when
right.
they are at work.
All right. I want to thank you again, the Flame, and also thank your manager for letting you be here. And definitely, anytime you have anything new coming out, just tag me to it.
Oh,
We
most
here in
definitely.
Jamaica, we love you, we love your song, and you can count on us to share it at any point in time. And we'll
Right.
definitely share this interview so persons can see that, who is the Flame. All right. So until we
Yeah.
meet again. I want to
Okay.
thank you for being here. Thanks to my co-host, Minister Ryan. Thank you for being here, sir. So until
Thanks for
tomorrow
having me.
night
Thanks
at
for
8
everybody
p.m.
that
Link Up
logged
and
on.
Reason. Yes. Well, before I go, any final words?
Who,
Flame?
me? Oh, oh,
Yes.
oh, oh. I just want to say I thank everybody for their support. Those near and far, including yourself. Thanks for, having me on your platform and sharing it with me. Um, Thanks, Ryan, so much for your questions.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thanks, to everybody, whether, it's a share that you share the song, whether it's, you purchase the song, whatever, you purchase my albums or whatever the situation may be. I thank you guys so much for your support and, just continue to support us, to be a part of the movement and continue to share, and get the message out there that God answers prayers. He truly does. And any other of the other songs that you love as well. Definitely look out for the album. I'm excited for that. And I just want to say thank you. A big thank you to everybody. I love you guys. And I don't think even when the album comes, them might gonna buy me up for something different because them just love buy me up. But I love them. They're my people. They're my people. I love them. So definitely.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you again, the Flame, and thank you, your manager. Thank my
Yeah.
co-host Ryan for coming here. And until we see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. This is Reverend Dunn.
Yes.
May
Yes.
the peace of God go with you until we meet again.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right.
Bye bye.
Good night.